Hi, welcome back to Pacifica. We've got a barking dog in the background. Okay. Hi, welcome back to Pacifica Achievement to Higher Education. My name is Jioji, and today I am joined by Taito. I practiced this before.
Taito.
Hi, welcome back to Pacifica Achievement to Higher Education. My name is Jioji, and today I can't even say my name properly.
You know what,
I'm really tired.
I think you are really tired. You've had a big day. You've gone straight from big day into an interview. This is yeah. No. It happens to professionals.
It does happen to professionals. I was so composed and complimented for. Okay. Hi, welcome back to Pacifica Achievement to Higher Education. My name is Jioji, and today I'm with Taito.
Hello.
And we're going to talk to her about all things education.
Woo-hoo!
Yay!
I grew up in New South Wales, Australia, as in rural and south coast areas, and I currently live in Sydney. We didn't sort of have the safety of having other people that looked like you, or other people that were from the same homelands that you were from. So from the get-go, it became quite important to try and fit into the community that we were living in, which was predominantly white. And so automatically you just found yourself, having to work your way through differences, being racially different, being ethnically different, and also being a little bit culturally different to the other kids at school. But over time, just through friendships and just through getting to know the local community, you sort of start to bridge that gap quite well. I would say family as well, because I wasn't I was sharing the experience with my parents and also with my brother during this time. So our family is very strong. We still have connections to relatives that lived in Sydney and in other areas. And also, I think I've mentioned this before. It doesn't matter where you live. You can't change the way you look. So automatically there is this sense that because you look a certain way, you still have cultural connections to the islands or to wherever your parents came from. After high school, I went to Wollongong University. So I actually completed a Bachelor of Arts degree and a Bachelor of Law. So it was a combined degree. And just recently I completed a Bachelor of Honours in Sociology at Macquarie University. So I've had a fair bit of experience with tertiary education, and I'd have to say for me it's been a very positive experience. The one thing that I loved about university was it was the first time that I learnt really in a practical sense that it didn't matter what family you came from, it didn't matter what background you came from. University had a way of making you as an individual establish who you were, and establish your own identity for yourself. So when I went to university, I was another student within sociology and law, trying to learn about sociology and law. Nobody cared what my dad or my mum did for a living. No one cared, really where I'd lived before or what my experience was at all. We sort of connected at that educational level, and for me, I found that really empowering. My mother used to always say that education has an amazing way of levelling the playing ground, the playing field. So of, in a sense, creating equality where there is less equality. And by that I mean that as far as she was concerned, as long as you were well educated, you had the ability to use opportunities within your society, and that in itself, this ability to utilise opportunities that are around you, has a way of of, you know, redressing a lot of the differences that we have as human beings, whether it's socio-economic differences, racial differences, you know. So you can be sitting next to somebody who is, say, from an African background, and both of you are studying to be doctors. You know, so completely different people, but united in this cause for education. And so as I grew older, I started to understand that education truly is a way of evening up that playing field. I always wanted to study law when I was very young, and I'd have to say that when I finished my HSC, I didn't actually get enough marks to get into the law degree. However, I got fantastic advice from one of our teachers at high school, and he pretty much said to me, it doesn't matter, you just, as long as you get a foot in the door. Meaning, so if you can't get into law, find something else that your marks can get you into so that you can at least enter the university system. So I got into, I applied for a Bachelor of Arts. I got into the Bachelor of Arts degree. Then when I got to uni, I arranged for a meeting with the Dean of the Law Faculty because I wanted to ask him how could I move across from arts to law. And he basically told me, you know, that within the first year I had to have really good marks, and then the faculty would consider it, no matter what other degree I was doing. So I went away after a meeting with him, and I worked very hard for the first year to ensure that I got the distinction average that I needed, and then I put in an application and they accepted me into the law program. So then I was able to combine a Bachelor of Arts with a Bachelor of Law. Well, two things that take up a lot of my time are obviously church. I've always had church commitment and connections to local churches. So I tend to do a lot of things on Sundays and weekends with church community. And the other thing is music. So I'm also a songwriter. And, you know, moving towards also being a writer of fiction stories, and hopefully a writer of an epic fantasy. So I'm still working on that though. But yeah, so with my band, the Joy Stars, we you know, write songs, record songs for our own benefit, but we also play in venues around Sydney as well. So Itu and the Joy Stars, you can Google us, and you can sample some of our music. So that keeps me busy as well. When I was a kid, for a little while we lived in Papua New Guinea. Yes. My dad was a teacher in George Brown High School, and I remember my mum used to make toffees, like, you know, homemade toffees, and then she would leave them at home because her and my dad were busy and they'd have to go and do other things. And that, you know, getting off the truck after school, running home and finding homemade toffees in the kitchen was one of my happiest memories ever. I love it, toffees, homemade. To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, that's all I can remember.
Yeah!